Hello everybody, welcome to your July reading. Well, not everybody actually. Welcome everybody watching. I'm actually reading for the featured sign of Cancer today as I go around my zodiac wheel for the month of July. And just a little bit of a disclaimer, I just did the entire reading of Cancers. This is part 2. And yesterday I did something and I didn't think about it. And then today I went to play back the, to check out and upload and what have you, and the volume wasn't on. So the reality is I'm going to read again for you. However, beautiful Cancers, I'm going to be keeping the same cards because I think that's important. I think these were meant for you. And I honestly just did this reading, but I'm doing it again because I love you and I enjoy being in here. I enjoy working with spirit, and I hope you will enjoy your reading. So we'll get right to the matter. I am pulling 4 cards. I pulled 4 cards for every single week of July and the energies that came through. I also picked your love connection reading, Cancer, and I had just done a little bit of well, I'll do it again, but it was just very ironic because your highlighted love connection for the month of July, remember this is any kind of love, all-inclusive, friend, committed, self, job, animal, family, plant, you name it, love of life, was in the sign of Capricorn. So it's just very, I'll explain why. As those that have been following me, and I love you for it, and new people that I would love to have you as a regular basis watching my channel and the messages that come through. I do read a little bit and talk, I should say, a little bit about the major astrological planetary influences that are happening for all of us, but specifically sometimes for the sign of the day, the future sign, because, depending on what element you are, or, what when your birth date is, your solar, return, it has a lot to do, and you may feel more affected by the planetary aspects than other people. So I feel like that's the case for you, Cancer, though I will say you are a water sign. And so you are very sensitive and you feel more than the average person because you are a water element. And the water is all about our feelings and our sensitivities. And, the water can flow and go into areas and places that not all elements can as easily. And it's a fluid kind of a beautiful thing. It's it's a changeable, it can be cool, it can be warm, it can be deep, it can be shallow. It's just, there's the different currents, if you will, with water, and that's a huge part of what you represent, Cancer, because your ruling planet is the moon, and the moon does control the tides. This is just a known fact, a scientific fact, So there's a lot of science that's involved with astrology, along with the, the patterns and the cycles, and just the different times in life and how the planets have been able to show us and to guide us through different circumstances as simply that, as a guidance for us. We can do and make choices on our own. You don't have to believe anything you hear. You don't have to accept it, but you might resonate and you might connect on some level in some small way. And that's what draws me in whenever I've been studying or interested. And it just then became this snowball effect for me. And I've been reading for over 30 years. I do tarot and I do oracle messages, of course, but I'm really fascinated with the connection and compatibility between the different signs of the zodiac, and why and reasons, and it all seems so very, very accurate, the deeper you delve into it. So that's what you're about, Cancer. You're very aware of the energies. It can be almost overwhelming for a lot of Cancers or water signs. I also feel like it is a gift. It's this intuition that's extremely strong and natural for you. The gut feelings are usually what you go by. You base your world and your life on your feelings. And so, you know, there's a moodiness to you at times because of that, and just having to deal with not only your own feelings, but the feelings of what you're feeling around you. And you know how you've always heard you can sense people coming in a room sometimes. Sometimes it feels great. Sometimes you're like, I don't like that energy. It's energy. It's all about energy, right? And particularly with you. Well, we are on the heels of the full moon, which is happening tomorrow on the 13th of July over the 12th of July today. Happy birthday, Cancers. We're still in your Cancer season through the 22nd, which is next Friday. I hope you're celebrating and enjoying you and you know, just having a grand old time. It appears that I will go over with you. You have that opportunity in your reading for sure. So, but I do want to say that the moon that we're having tomorrow, the full supermoon, the biggest supermoon of this year, and there have been at least 2 other super full moons in the last 2 months, and this is yet another one. And the super full moons are visibly bigger because they literally are closer to the earth, so the energies are stronger, you know, and we do feel it. I was feeling this full moon. I had insomnia on Saturday, and today's Tuesday, and the full moon is actually officially tomorrow, depending on where you're located in the world. But I think it's a grandiose and beautiful, beautiful full moon for you, Cancer. In particular, Capricorn is your polar opposition on the zodiac wheel. And that is the full moon that will be in Cancer. And you yourself and Capricorn, you're both cardinal signs. So there's that beautiful, harmonious, fundamental understanding with each other. You're a water sign, Capricorn's an earth sign. There's this desire to, you know, be grounded and practical, and it's about our daily affairs, our homes, our families, our health, our well-being, you know, the tangible things you can feel, touch, smell. You can be guaranteed in any one of my readings I will be saying something a little funky, but that's what Spirit does. It just kind of runs through me, and sometimes I'm a little too quick, and perhaps you take a breath. But nevertheless, yeah, I think, well, I know that both the earth and water elements do extremely well for each other, and they're very good for each other, and they help each other in a lot of different ways that they fulfill areas that maybe the other sign doesn't have, and so forth. So that's always something that you can learn and grow and evolve with. You know, like you plant the seed in the earth of the Capricorn earth thing, and then you add the water, and without the water, it's not going to grow. So you know what I mean. It's very simpatico energy. And so that's what the full moon is. And then also, I mean, when it comes to Capricorn, some of the characteristic traits that are extremely well-known and important is that Capricorn is, yes, it's a cardinal sign. It initiates the season of winter. You as a Cancer initiate the season as a cardinal sign of summer. You know, you're doers, you're shakers, you're movers, you're leaders, you're innovators, you're pioneers. You start things, you know, you could be inventors of all sorts of incredible things. All of us could. I mean, think about it. Everything you see and everything was invented at some point by someone, and they just can continue to keep coming. Perhaps this is your time. I don't know. That's just coming into mind. But that's the whole emphasis with a lot of Capricorns, certainly, and you yourself, Cancer, is this idea of being extremely capable, very resourceful, and Capricorn is very much about time and utilizing time in the proper way, and the energy and so forth, all kind of just, you know, working itself in just such a way, because Capricorn is ruled by the planet Saturn, which is a very structured and very kind of, you know, basically serious, somber time. Saturn is known as the god of time, knowing the value of time and the importance of time and using it in the proper way, not letting it get us away from us. And those are positive things. You know, there's this, Pluto has been in the sign of Capricorn for some time now, and it is in retrograde, which simply means it's an outer planet, but it's the bigger outer planets, most of the time, this is the time of year they go in retrograde. And we have one more that's going in retrograde at the end of this month, and that'll be Jupiter on the 28th. But what that means is basically anything when it's retrograde, any planet, it's more internalizing. It's it's not so much about what's happening on the outside world and what, you know, with other people and circumstances. It affects us more. We're thinking more about how it affects us, how we want to work with this particular energy or these ideas or these feelings. And so, yeah, Saturn is the taskmaster. It does keep us, it does tend to confine our lives in some ways. It's pretty serious kind of stuff, so that we can get to where we're needing to go and not get too sidetracked and, you know, not put out too much fluff around anything. You know, it's more matter of fact. That's kind of the energy. But it's really good, and it's grounding, like I said, and I think a lot of water signs like to be around that kind of energy, just to keep them feeling, you know, for nothing else, secure, safe, kind of, you know, grounded. I don't even really know how else it's grounded is grounded. And it can be very gratifying when you realize that you are achieving what you need to, and you're fulfilling your duties and responsibilities, and all the while it is your birthday season, like I said. So we're going to go into, if you're not feeling and understanding this Capricorn as a person in your life, Cancer, which you may very well be with and have been for years, it's not unusual whatsoever. I've seen it hundreds and thousands of times over the last 30 years of that being a coupling, but certainly with friendships, work-related, a lot of times I feel like it does have a lot to do. You could have a partner that you're in love with who's also, you know, you work together. That makes perfect sense too in this combination, actually. But, you know, as a Cancer, you also are very interested in your home and, you know, and catering to the people you love. Your family is huge for you. And so I'm thinking with this, well, it's not an accident, you know, Cancer season is during the summer. It's when the summer solstice happened on the 21st of June. And it's about being with your family. You know, school is out, going on vacations, enjoying the people you love, and feeling extremely emotionally satisfied and happy and sentimental, and building memories and so forth, which is huge for Cancers as well. But so anyway, and those are psychic aspect. It's very strong, I think, during your time of the year for all of us. And I think you maybe have noticed that dreams might be very, very prominent at this time. But we're going to go through the weeks that I already pulled, as I said, and they're right here for you. And the first week was, you know, what your initial feeling was overall coming into July. And you got Temperance. And Temperance is a major arcana, so I always like to really put it out there and make it strong understanding that major arcanas are spirit, source, higher power, all of the energies wanting you to know this is a very important message for you, okay? The minor arcana, the court cards, the, you know, pages, knights, kings and queens, these are people in our lives, everyday activity, you know, people at work, our family, people that come and go and that sort of thing, and messages and so forth. Major arcana is the journey, the whole idea of the tarot, you know, it starts with the Fool and just taking that risk and starting life and believing and having faith and trust, because we are constantly being guided and there is a constant co-creation happening. So I love Temperance because that's how you started coming in. You feel this need for this balance, if you will. It's another form of balance, but it's, for me, it's way more than just that, because it's the alchemy that we all have the ability to do in our lives, you know, so above, so below. You know, there's usually 1 foot in water, 1 on the earth, the elements, and the veil that separates us in our spirituality and so forth. It's all encompassing in this card. It represents the sign of Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, one of the most optimistic, truth-seeking, adventurous, freedom-seeking signs, you know, fun, definitely spirited, you know, and this is important for you, that you enjoy your sun solar season. It affects people in different ways. You know, of course, we get older, but that could be the phase of your life that says, oh, now it's time to go off to college, or oh, now it's a phase where I'm going to consider getting married, and oh, it's a phase that I'm maybe having children, and now it's a phase that I'm maybe retiring, or maybe just, I mean, there's constant cycles and phases and, you know, times and and that sort of thing in our life. So keeping all of that into perspective is going to make this month all the more fun and exciting, and with great possibility of manifestation, comes to mind right now. I'm not even sure why. That's not normally what I get from that, but that is what I feel. And I feel that with very strong with a lot of water signs anyway. So that could be Pisces, Scorpio, and of course yourself, Cancer. But anyway, so that's the first week, and that's a good feeling. And it stands to reason because we will be going into a fire sign season of Leo coming up, next week. And that's the fellow fire sign to Sagittarius as well as Aries. So a lot of fire has been going on. I don't know if you've been feeling it. Certainly seen it in the world. Just keep yourself calm and safe, and take that time you need, Cancer, because I know Cancer water signs need time to re-energize, to calm themselves, to be still, to listen to their guidance, their true, higher knowledge. Second week is now. It's the Capricorn moon that's happening. It's the full moon. It's the desire to, put forth our best foot, and do the best we can, and do the detail, and put in the hard work, and recognize, the importance of time well served will benefit us in the long term, because that's the thing about earth signs. They all are very much about long-term satisfaction and reaping the benefits. And you got the Queen of Swords. So I really love this, and I mentioned it in the first video, that it actually in the row it's in, you can see the Queen is looking at the direction of Temperance. So there's another indication. Now the swords are the air element, and that could be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Now Libra is also known for the scales and for balance and for another form of temperance, keeping things moderate, keeping things, not too extreme on any level, in any way, spirit, mind, body. And also the fact that that is an air sign represents conversation, intellect, connecting with people, speaking, learning, teaching. Maybe you want to start a program. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, for heaven's sakes, Cancer. Maybe you want to really work on your ability to write your thoughts and keep a journal more, or go to, what is it called, where you learn to speak in public, because that's supposed to be one of the scariest things, I'm told, and I understand it. I haven't spoken in public for a long time. I suppose this is a way of speaking in public, and I make mistakes all the time, so that I'm used to that. I'm quite humble, but there's a Toastmaster where you learn and you go and you study to be able to be proficient at speaking in public, surroundings and that sort of thing. This is a indication of clear, concise information, perhaps valuable information that's coming to you. I think it's going to feel good. It's going to be to your benefit. It could have to do with higher institutions like law. It could have to do with, banks. Maybe you're getting a loan, maybe you've been asking about that. The full moon, which is so beautiful about full moons versus new moons, is they tend to culminate things, but they also shine a light very brightly, especially the super moon of Capricorn, into certain areas that might be a little weak, or a little bit, something's missing, or it's not quite, it wasn't seen before. Well, it's definitely going to be seen now. The truth comes through. The feelings could be overly emotional because of it, but it's also absolutely important that we do recognize the truth in all things, certainly in ourselves, which we're going to get to that in a minute, because that was quite a beautiful synchronistic aspect of your reading. And the reality is that you are not, when it comes to an air sign, there's no mincing words. They tend to take that sword and cut out any riffraff or any kind of excess baloney, and they get right to the heart of the matter. So I like that. I like it a lot. And then the third week is very interesting, because it is, and these are beautiful cards as far as synchronicity in what's happening on the planet and in the skies. It was really beautiful. So like I said, I had to keep the cards that came up from the video that didn't have any sound. And the third week is the week that we go into the season of Leo. Leo being the fire sign that is extremely courageous and ruled by the sun, very much a flamboyant, extravagant, look at me, see me, you know, very comfortable with being on stage, center stage, usually good actors and very artistic and creative. They like to be leaders. They are very confident about that, and that's kind of a beautiful thing. If you want to learn from somebody, you want to listen to a Leo and get that, you know, kind of take on those energies. And there's strength and power like none other that can be shown to us, that we recognize within ourselves. And what card did you get? You got the Strength card, which represents Leo and everything I spoke of. So I feel like you're coming out of your shell. I feel like you have this beautiful, I want to say, you know, sensual, sexual, passionate idea or relationship or physical something going on there, which is it's beautiful. Maybe it's just started, you know, in the last more recent time. I don't know, but I know the one thing I can reiterate a few times, if I may, is don't be overly taken in by anything. Keep it as moderate and temperate as possible. You know, I mean, sometimes the moons can be a little bit, I mean, the emotional part alone can maybe make us see things that may not be quite as clear at other times, because there's emotions involved and, you know, passion involved. But if you do give it some time and you just, you know, you just don't go crazy over it. Don't go eloping, in other words. Just make sure, take it easy, you know, enjoy the ride, but just don't do anything too rash. Speak to people, ask for people that might have another idea in mind or something, you know, that you can feel comfortable talking with, and just, you know, just be sensible, right? I mean, I don't mean to be this stick in the mud, but yeah, this is a very, very passionate time, and I've been in situations like that where I was just head over heels, and I was like, oh my God. I mean, the moon was just right, and then the food was beautiful, and the wine, and the parties, and the fun, and then you wake up and you're like, what? Oh man, okay. So that's all. And then, ironically, I think not, the fourth week is the new moon in Leo. And I always say for every moon, it doesn't matter, but especially Leo, because it's so vibrant and it's fun and it's about partying and you know, just shimmery, shiny, you know, let's have fun, let's enjoy summer, let's go party, let's have fun, let's go on a vacation, let's get away, let's enjoy life. It's been so difficult in the last couple of years that I think it could be game on now, right? That's the kind of energy I'm getting. And you got the Four of Swords. So what I see from this is, it has a lot of meaning to me, but what I got from your reading to this point was, there was definitely something that was hurtful. There was a loss. There was the, you know, the three swords there on the wall that have been put into, generally with the Rider-Waite-Smith depiction, it's a heart. You know, you've been heartbroken. You have had a loss. You've been emotionally affected, to put it mildly. And this is the Four of Swords. You've got the sword by this person laying there, and just kind of keeping it by his side. There's always, you know, he's put the other swords up. He's ready to heal. He's ready to let that be a part of the past. It's happened. Yes, I remember it. Yes, he feels it. The sentimentality alone of Cancers, their memory is quite remarkable. They forgive, but they don't forget, and like a lot of us. And so there's the memory, but you're absolutely well into the healing phase. It's time to relax. It's time to retreat. Perhaps you were ill. Perhaps something happened and you had a surgery. being moderate with everything I said thus far is only going to help, because it seems as though it's in the past, it's already happened. But with the new moon, you have these great inspirations, it's intentions for the new moon, you write them down. You want to know about what's happening now moving forward, okay? And the rest and the time off and the vacation time, and maybe just from partying too much, I don't know. It comes to mind though. Give yourself an allowance of respite and prepare for a new day and a new dawn, because that's exactly what this information is coming through for you. Now, you may resonate right away and you may not resonate at all, but I always suggest that you watch your sun reading, your moon, your ascendant, and your Venus placement, because that's love. That's, you know, that's the real deal as far as that goes. So yeah, all of those will be an important reading. And sometimes there's a lot of similarities and you think, oh, okay, I'm definitely resonating now. Or one may make way more sense than another. So do yourself a favor and just check it all out. You know, there's a lot of depth to tarot and astrology and everything. It's fantastic. You can never learn enough. So that was your reading, and I'm grateful to be able to read it again. And I did a little quick 1, 2, 3, and it was working, and I hope it will. But then I'm going to go on to your rune, because yes, I am finishing with 2 oracles, one being the rune. I picked your beautiful rune, which I already did, and it is the letter X, and it's kind of crazy, but the letter X actually ends up being the letter G. Okay, and yeah, there's no rhyme or reason, you just have to associate it. But I have my flashcards, because that's what I'm doing. I'm getting to recognize and slowly retain the information. But I love, and I've studied and studied. I would read about my rune of the day since 1997. Yeah. My PC, I would just go on there, people playing solitaire. I'm like, where's my rune? I got to figure out what's going on today. Because it was just that last reassurance of that beautiful message and guidance that I would get, that I felt like with this reading, it just kind of culminates it, and it's the cherry on the sundae. So anyway, this particular letter in the runes is the letter G, and it represents the word, it's pronounced Gabo, and it's the rune number 7. And the 7 has a beautiful energy of angelic, kind of heavenly, lucky energy. There's 7 colors in the rainbow. There's 7 chakras in the body. Many references to the number 7. But you know, I'm sure a lot of you have heard, you know, lucky 7. And that's what I'm feeling with this. I really am. And then to go on further, the theme is sincere gift, and in parentheses, generosity. And it has been your birthday, so I hope that's been the case. I hope you're resonating right now with that. Or your birthday's still coming up, and something beautiful can be coming to you, unexpected, but pretty passionate and powerful and beautiful, and you deserve it. You know that. The keywords offering, this is the best part. When I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh. The keywords offering reciprocity, you know, the equalness, give and take, the temperance, you know, the lovers, sexual ecstasy, hospitality, and generosity. Boom, right back at that one. It's just real. It's very, very real. It's very in line. It's very congruent. And it's spirit helping us out. Magical working, bond a relationship, offerings, build generosity, send positive energy. Because you know when you do that, that's exactly what comes back. Everything is energy, and I know you understand that, Cancer. But just in case you knew and you didn't know that about yourself, that's real. And lastly, the key phrase is mutual benefit, give generously, receive graciously. I love that, receive graciously. Take care of yourself and others. You know, rest, relax, enjoy. And let's see, sexual harmony again. Just saying, hospitality freely offered. Ask for what you need. A gift freely given. Okay, well, please let me know. I mean, I do want to put my little sales plug in now and ask if you could, and if you haven't, to please push that subscribe button. That's a very, very, very generous supportive act that you can do, and you don't get, you know, you don't charge, you're not charged, you're not going to be getting any extra emails or any of that stuff. It's just really helpful for my channel. Thumbs up is a great one. Sharing, and then pushing that little notification bell, because that lets you know when I upload. And different, like if I record and then I have to redo it and what have you. But that's really truly appreciated. It's a wonderful, wonderful gesture. So thank you if you do and have and want to. And lastly, I'm going to finish with your beautiful card that I picked, which is from the Don Miguel Ruiz deck, The Mastered Love. I've had this since, I don't know, 15 years or more. And I said, well, let's pull this one out for July. And your beautiful card that came out, I just shuffled them through and I just picked one, is be truthful with yourself. And I don't know, I'm sure there's a certain percentage of you like, oh my gosh, right on. And others be going, oh, read on, please. And I shall. When you are truthful with yourself, you start to see everything as it is, not the way you want to see it. And that goes back to what I was saying with this moon. Sometimes, you know, we just have these rose-colored glasses. We're very emotional. We're very sensitive. We want love. We care about love. We give love. But we don't always see clearly, you know? And so the wounds in your emotional body are covered by the denial system. Now, here we go back to the wounds. I thought that was very, very apropos, right? Crazy stuff. When you look at your wounds with the eyes of truth, you can finally heal those wounds. And that's, to me, that's everything, because we all get wounded. We've all been hurt. And I think the real success is in how to even start and to ignite the ability to heal, you know? And I know it comes from the want, and it definitely comes from our heart. Basically everything does. But I just thought that was really beautiful in closing, and I love and appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much. Have the best, wonderful, passionate, fun, safe, and temperate July. August is looking really good too, so come on back. I'll be here for you. Until then, thank you again. Bye for now.